Let's get it. Let's get it. In lieu of All-Star Weekend, we got some good conversation tonight because I was wondering when I was doing this because I saw the All-Star game, and I'm gonna let y'all file in here, but I was wondering who of all of the teams and who's the best player ever to make the All-Star team. I was thinking about that. Ever. Ever? I don't know about ever, man. That's a good ass question. Ever? Hmm. Yeah, who's the best player ever to make the All Star team? I was supposed to get with Tone on this, but I never got. I hit him, waited for the email, never got it. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. So um, anyway, I was just wondering who is. I was wondering who is the best player never to make the All Star team ever. I don't know, man. That's a good ass question because I know that there's a bunch of different players that you can make a case for. A number of different players that you can make a case for to never make the All Star team. And I often wonder what is an All Star. I think that's the $1 million question, right? That's the $1 million question. What exactly is an All Star? I know what a perennial All Star is, but what exactly is an All Star? Like who when you look at All Stars, who can you say, yo, this dude should have made the All Star team, and he should have made the All Star team at some point. Should Ron Harper have made the All Star team at some point? Maybe, possibly. He tore his knee up in '88, in '88, in '89. I believe it was the '89-'90 season. He tore his knee up. And was Ron Harper better than Glenn Robinson? Was he better than Big Dog? Mm-hmm. I think about the All Star game, and I feel like it's lost some of its luster. I feel like it's lost some of its luster on the strength that guys don't take it as serious as they used to. But with that being said, what I do know for a fact is I know for a fact that the All Star game used to mean something. Big Dog actually did make the All Star team. So Big Dog is off the list because he did make the All Star team. He made it twice. So Big Dog is off the list. Um, there's no way that a guy who averaged 20 a game for his career, never made the All Star team. How many guys averaged 20 a game for their career and did not make the All Star team? Guys like Ron Harper, Kendall Gill. I think Kendall Gill is the all-time steals leader for guys that never made the All Star team. I think Kendall Gill is the all-time steals leader for guys who never made the All Star team. But when you're talking about being an All Star, somebody got to come off, right? Somebody has to come off the All-Star team. If this guy is going to be an All-Star, who comes off? So, what year should a guy like, how about Andre Miller, for example? Right, Andre Miller, if I'm not mistaken, I think Andre Miller, I think he led the league in assists one year, if I'm not mistaken. I think Andre Miller led the league in this. I think he led the league in assists one year. I don't know how many assist leaders. If I go do some homework, how many assist leaders didn't make the All-Star team? If I go do some homework and I find out over the last, I don't know, let's say 20 years, 20 plus years. Let's say the last 20 plus years. How many assist leaders did not make the All-Star team? Is Andre Miller the only assist leader never to make the All-Star team in the last 20 years? Hmm. Who has led the league in assists and never made the All-Star team? Andre Miller. Did Derek Harper lead the league in assists ever? I don't think Derek Harper ever led the league in assists. Not with Magic and Stockton running around. I don't think he ever led the league in assists. No. Mm-mm. Not with Magic and Stockton running around. No, he never led the league in assists with those two dudes running around. I don't think that's ever happened. But I have to go do some homework on that, because to think that a guy, I don't differentiate free. I don't do the greatest and the best. Those two things don't work with me. I don't do greatest and best. And the reason why I don't do greatest and best is because what it sounds like to me is it sounds like you're trying to differentiate between what a dude is and what he's not. So sorry, Tone. I'm already hot. I'm already hot, Tone. I'm already hot, Tone. Maybe I could shut this down. I'm already hot, Tone. Hang on for a second. I'm already hot. Maybe I could shut this down and move over to maybe I could shut this down and move over to hmm. So Ernie led the league in assists. What year did Ernie lead the league in assists? That was like 40, because Ernie played in the 70s. Hmm. That was in the 70s. Ernie played 5 years in the league. What year did he lead the league in assists? His rook season. He led the league in assists as a rook. Who made the All-Star team that year? Let's see. Who made the All-Star team in the 73-74 season? Hmm. The guards, JoJo White, Jerry West. What is Jerry West doing on the All-Star team? He didn't even play, by the way. And by the way, Jerry West was over in 74. What is he doing on the All-Star team? Walt Frazier was an All-Star. Havlicek was an All-Star. Walt Frazier was an All-Star. Havlicek was an All-Star. I'm thinking about guards. Who else led the league in assists? He led the league in assists as a rookie. He didn't make the All-Star team. Yeah, that was in 74, and he was a rookie that year. But when I think about and NYC Rod, I'm straight on you, B, because number one, you talk to me like I think I think the Cavs are winning the NBA championship, and I don't think that. I don't think that the Cavs are winning the NBA championship. I just think they're better than last year, and I think that they're going to fare better than last year. I do. I'm not like you with, you know, Knick fans are. Knick fans can be very toxic, very much like Warriors fans. They're not that far off from Knick fans are not that far off from Cowboy fans. Just so you guys know. I don't know if you guys know this, but Knick fans are very close to Cowboy fans. How fickle they are, how hot and cold they are. So I don't really deal with Knick fans that much, but when I deal with them, I make sure that I deal with them in fact. I never said that the Cleveland Cavaliers is winning the NBA championship. I never said that. I am on the Cleveland Cavaliers train. Yes, I am. But with that being said, I want to get back to this All-Star. I want to get back to this All-Star snub. Who is the best player never to make the All-Star team? Is it Ron Harper? Ron Harper finished second in Rookie of the Year. Is Anton Jameson an All-Star? I think he is. Is he a I think Anton Jameson made the All-Star team. I think he made it in 02, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty confident Anton Jameson made the All-Star team. Yeah, he made the All-Star team twice. I'm pretty confident that I knew he made the All-Star team. Ron Harper, Kendall Gill. These are the guys that I'm thinking about. That was just nice. CJ McCollum, guys like that never made the All-Star team, that were All-Stars. Tony Kukoc was a rotation player. Why would Tony Kukoc be an All-Star? Why? How many rotation players in the history of the NBA are All-Stars? How many? Like how is Tony Kukoc? If when you're talking about best rotation players all time, is Tony Kukoc? Is he up there with Manu Ginobili, Benny Johnson? I'm thinking about Mark Aguirre. Like when I think about Monta Ellis is definitely in that conversation of the best players to never make the All-Star. I think the year before they got Clay, he averaged like 26 a game. I think it was something like that. I definitely think he averaged 26 a game, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think he did. The year before they got Clay, I think that was like 2011, either the 10-11 season or the 11-12 season, something like that. He averaged 26 a game. Yeah, it was almost 26 a game, and it was the 9-10 year. It was Steph Curry's second year. But no, I'm sorry, that was his rook season, because Curry showed up in 09. Didn't he? I think Curry showed up in 09. He was in the 09 draft. Excuse me. And he averaged 26 a game that year. Never to make the All-Star team? Wow. I'd like to know where he was that year in the league in scoring. When has that ever happened before? Yeah. Yeah, he was in the top 5. Well, he was right outside the top 5 in scoring that year. He was 6th in the league in scoring. How many guys? There's been a lot of All-Star snubs. There's been a lot of All-Star snubs and a lot of guys who didn't make the All-Star team that should have made the All-Star team. How many guys in the top 10? How many guys are top 10 scorers that didn't make the All-Star team? I mean, when I think about Monta Ellis, he had a 2-year span where he finished in the top 10 in the league in scoring and did not make the All-Star team any of those years. Nah. And again, understand when I talk about being an All-Star, right? When I talk about being an All-Star, I'm talking about a guy who's playing at an All-Star level, who's getting snubbed every year. Like when I think about Mike Conley, when I think about Mike Conley getting snubbed, Was he really snubbed? Because he played in a nightmare time for point guards. He was, especially in the Western Conference with Memphis. He wasn't going before Dame. He wasn't going before Chris Paul. He wasn't going before Tony Parker. He wasn't going before Russ. He wasn't going before any of them dudes. So that just wasn't happening. Right? That part just was not happening. He wasn't going before any of those dudes. So I don't think Mike Conley was a snub more than he just wasn't better than any of those dudes. Hmm. That's a tough question, man. That's a really tough question. Because when I think about like rotation players, like Manu Ginobili made the All-Star team as a rotation player. I think Detlef Schrempf made the All-Star team as a rotation player. Right? If Lou Williams is making the All-Star team in 14-15, all right, that's the year he won the Sixth Man of the Year. Right? He won the Sixth Man of the Year in 14-15. He won it again in 18-19. I'm sorry, he won it in 17-18 and in 18-19. So if I look at the 17-18 All-Star team, when he averaged 23 a game coming off the bench, I'm trying to figure out who coming off this All-Star team, who coming off the All-Star team to put Lou Williams on. Because the All-Star roster in the West, Curry, DeRozan, James Harden, Kyle Lowry, Klay Thompson, Kyle Lowry, Damian Lillard, James Harden, Curry, Klay Thompson. I don't. That's a tough. That's a tough rotation to crack, man. That's a tough rotation to crack right there. When I think about the best players to, was Ross Strickland better than the Dragon, than Goran Dragic? Was he better than him? Was Ross Strickland better than Goran Dragic? Because they both made the All-NBA team and never made the All-Star team. And Goran was one of the best downhill drivers who could knock down the mid-range too. Are you 100% sure Ross Strickland was better than Goran Dragic? Like, it's not a question of whether or not Ross Strickland was better than Goran Dragic. No question about it. And don't get me wrong, Ross Strickland he did make the All-Star team though. Dragic didn't. Dragic never. He definitely made the All-Star team. That's a good question. Finished in the top 20 in league MVP votes. Had a money mid-range game. Super nice with the peel also. Real crafty. He did make it. He made it in I think he made it in 15. 15 or 16. The guys that I'm thinking about at the top of my head, Jamal Murray, Kendall Gill, CJ McCollum, Ron Harper, and Lamar Odom. Those are the 5 guys that I'm thinking about off the top of my head. That's who I'm thinking about. Did Rudy Gay ever deserve to be an All-Star? What year did Rudy Gay play that you could say Rudy Gay was an All-Star this year? Because again, what I'm thinking about is I'm thinking about the best players to never make the All-Star team. Who are these dudes? Who are they? Because Rudy had I think he had like a 4 or 5 year stretch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He had like a 6 year stretch where he averaged 19 a game. No, I don't. Zach Randolph never made the All-Star team. No, he didn't. I think Zach Randolph is in that conversation too. 100% he is. He did make the All-Star team. Zach made it twice. And he was an All-Pro too. You can't be a 20-10 dude. You can't be a 20-10 dude for multiple seasons and never make the All-Star team. That. There's no way that happens. When you get the nickname first name 20, last name 10. When you get the nickname first name 20, last name 10, you definitely have to be an All-Star at some point. Starks made the All-Star team. He made the All-Star team in '94. So Starks is off. Jason Terry is not the best player to never make the All-Star team. Jason Terry was not better than Lamar Odom. He wasn't better than Ron Harper neither. I'm not sure he was better than Kendall Gill neither. I'm not sure about that. Jason Terry was good. I'm not going to argue that. But should he be in the conversation of the best player to never make the All-Star team? I think you going off the fact of what you saw him do in the playoffs and in the NBA Finals. That's what I think you're going off of. And I could get with that. Sure. I can definitely get with that. But again, we're talking about the best player to never make the All-Star team. That means that he never made the All-Star team. Did he ever play at an All-Star level? Did Tony Kukoc ever play at an All-Star level? That's the $1 million question. Did Kukoc ever? What year did Tony Kukoc play at an All-Star level? Because he showed up. If I'm not mistaken, Kukoc showed up in '93. He showed up in '93. There was no All-Star game in '99. In 2000, he averaged 15 a game. Was Tony Kukoc, when you talk about Tony Kukoc, where does Tony Kukoc rank? Where does Tony Kukoc rank? That's what I said. I said in '99 there was no All-Star game. Where does Tony Kukoc rank amongst the all-time rotation players? When I think about rotation players, I'm not thinking about rotation players like I'm thinking about starters. I'm not. So I'm not putting Jamal Crawford in the same space with Ron Harper. I'm not doing that. I'm not putting Manu Ginobili in the same space with CJ McCollum. I'm not. I'm not doing that. So when I think about when I think about rotation players, I separate those guys from starters. So I can't put. I think rotation players have a separate conversation. So guys like Lou Will, Vinnie Johnson, Jamal Crawford, Tony Kukoc, Detlef Schrempf. I think those guys are in that conversation because those is rotation players. So it would be who's the best rotation player to never make the All-Star team, as opposed to who is the best player to never make the All-Star team. You came off the bench. That doesn't. I don't think that lessens you, but I just think you're in a different category. I definitely think that you're in a different category when you're a rotation player. Kevin Johnson made the All-Star team. Kevin Johnson is not in this conversation. And that's what I mean. Detlef Schrempf did make the All-Star team as a rotation player. The Lakers had 4 of them. They had Bryant, Eddie Jones, Nick Van Exel, and Shaq. 4 of them that year. Like now you dudes just saying names just so you can just so you can shout people out. Like J.R. Smith, no. J.R. Smith is not the best player never to make the All-Star team. He was awesome though. I'm not gonna fight that, but I don't think J.R. Smith was better than Lamar Odom. I don't think he was better than C.J. McCollum. I don't think he was better than Ron Harper. I don't think he was better than Monte Ellis neither. I don't. So I don't think anybody really paid attention that much to World Be Free. And the reason why is because World Be Free, the 70s was a very individualized, it was very individualized as an era. And World Be Free was one of them dudes who, if you look at his game, and he did make the All-Star team too, by the way. He made the All-Star team in 80 with Magic. He didn't make the All-Star team in 79, which is crazy. He averaged almost 30 a game that year. The Clippers was probably terrible. That's why he didn't make it. But that might be the most points in NBA history to not make the All-Star team. He averaged almost 30 a game that year. Man, how you doing that and never make the All-Star team? How are you doing that? That's impressive. So again, what is it? What's the honor of making the All-Star team? The reason why it used to mean something was because the All-Star game was the best of the best and it was competitive. And when you got matched up with the best of the best and you went at it with these guys, because we didn't get a chance to see Kobe Bryant and Vince Carter on the regular. So to see them in the All-Star game, right? We didn't get a chance to see Allen Iverson and Tony Parker. We didn't get a chance to see those guys on the regular. So to see them in the All-Star game with their counterparts, like they were serious, 100% serious. I think it's Lamar Odom. I think he's the best player. When I think about the best player, I think he's him or CJ McCollum. Him, CJ McCollum, and Ron Harper are the 3 guys that I'm thinking about. That's probably those are the 3 guys that I'm thinking about. Ron Harper, CJ McCollum, Lamar Odom. Bone, stop saying Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray is going to make the All-Star team at some point. So stop saying Jamal Murray. He's going to make the All-Star team. He's only in like year 7. So let's chill out on Jamal Murray. CJ McCollum is past what he used to be. CJ McCollum probably, if I had to guess off the top of my head, how old is CJ McCollum? CJ McCollum I think this is year 11 that he's in the league. He showed up in 13. Yep. He showed up in 13. So he's 32 years old. He's in year 11. So the years of him making the All-Star team, the years of him making the All-Star team are, I think they're behind him. What up, Goat? Peace, Goat. I think the three guys that I'm thinking about off the top of my head: Lamar Odom, one of the most versatile guys. He became a rotation player later on in his career, but he became a rotation player later on in his career. But for the most part, Lamar Odom was a starter, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, he was a starter for the most part of his career. Mm-hmm. Andre Miller averaged. NYC Rod wants to tell me that Andre Miller averaged 17, 4, and 7 in 2008. Why is that a big deal? Yeah. In 2008, he averaged 17, 7, and 4. Are those all-star worthy numbers? Or not even all-star worthy numbers? Are those numbers that will put you in the tier underneath an all-star where you could go, yo, this is the best player never to make an all-star team? I mean, World B. Free averaged 30, 29 a game. He averaged 29 and 4. 29 and 4 he averaged in 79. And he ain't sniffed the all-star team. He did not sniff the all-star team. Lamar Odom, Kendall Gill, Ron Harper. I don't have Jamal Murray on that list. And the reason why I don't have Jamal Murray on that list is because Jamal Murray is going to make the all-star team at some point. I'm sure of that. I think he's going to make the all-star team. I'm not on the fence about that. I don't think that maybe or possibly. I think that at some point, Jamal Murray is going to make the all-star team. I do think that. So who is the best player to never make the all-star team? Yes, Molly, he made it in 98. He was on that the year Kobe Bryant made the all-star team. Four Lakers made the all-star team that year. It was Bryant, Shaq, Nick Van Exel, and Eddie Jones made the all-star team that year. Lamar Odom, Ron Harper, Kendall Gill. Does Rod Strickland, what year should Rod Strickland? No, I'll take that back. I'm not gonna ask what year Rod Strickland should have made the All-Star team. This is about the best players to never make the All-Star team. That means that they played at that level of an All-Star player. They played right underneath wherever they played at an All-Star level. And who was the best player who played at an All-Star level never to make it? Andre Miller, was he better than Rod Strickland? I don't think so. I do not think Andre Miller was better than Rod Strickland. I do not think that. And Andre Miller was a distributor. He was not better than Rod Strickland, though. I don't think so. And I will stand on that logic. No way was he better than Rod Strickland. The guy that I think about, like the guy that I think about is that but Dragon actually made the All-Star team. And Rod Strickland did lead the league in assists. Just like Andre Miller led the league in assists. Rod Strickland led the league in assists. He was an All-Pro that year in 98. And he did not make the All-Star team, which is crazy, too, because 2 years before that, when he was in Washington, he was 19 and 10 and didn't make the All-Star team. Damn. That's pretty impressive. Because I know these dudes, I know for a fact that these dudes that got snubbed for the All-Star team, I know for a fact that these dudes saw these other guys make the All-Star team and was like, I'm better than him. And he made the All-Star team and I did. And I'm sure of that. Yeah, Michael Adams made the All-Star team. I think he made it in 91. Yeah. I think if it wasn't 91, it was 90. One of those years, Michael Adams made the All-Star team. I'm sure of that. I'm definitely sure of that. Hmm. Hmm. Serge Ibaka? Was Serge ever Did Serge ever play at an all-star level? Yes, he did. I mean, if Mutombo is leading the league in blocks, then Serge could very well have been an all-star, like in 13, when he led the league in blocks. He did play at an all-star level that year. You know, Serge was never a double-digit rebounder. Maybe that's one of the reasons why. That might be one of the reasons why Oklahoma City wasn't as good as they could have been. Him never being a double-digit rebounder is surprising to me. I didn't realize that. We already talked about Monte Ellis. You late, Kevin. You 100% late. See what happens when you walk into class and you don't already miss half the lesson and you're just talking and you don't know what you're talking about. That happens to you, brother. We already talked about him. We talked about how a guy can average 25 plus a game and not make. How many guys have averaged 25 plus a game and not make the All-Star team? So yeah, we already talked about him. Mm-hmm. Is that tonight? Yeah, if that's tonight, yeah, 100%. I'll come through there. I will come through there for that. I want to hear from you guys. I do. Who's the who's the best player? Right? Who's the best player never to make the All-Star team? I want to hear from you guys. Who, in your estimation, since you've been around, when you're thinking about all the great players, right? I missed you on Super Bowl Sunday, and that's my fault. But I'm definitely coming through tonight, though. You got my word on that. You got my word on that. I straight forgot about Super Bowl Sunday. And that's all 100% on me, fam. Right here. But I'm coming through tonight after this. You got my word on that. Right after I get off this, I'm coming through. You got my word on that. I'm 100% at fault of that. I straight forgot. I did. I ain't gonna lie to you. Um, who is that though? That's what I'm wondering. I do enjoy making content. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't do it. There's no reason for me to do it if I didn't enjoy it. I'm not that type of dude. I know people who they do it because they have to. I don't have to do this. I could shut the door on this right now, but I do it because I dig it. Um, hmm. Lamar Odom, C.J. McCollum, Ron Harper. Yep. Lamar Odom, C.J. McCollum, Ron Harper. Rod Strickland is in that conversation. I'm bugged out that Rod Strickland never made one All Star team, but Goran Dragic, Dragic made the All-Star team. Jason Terry wasn't better than Ross Strickland. So let's kill that logic right now. He was not. No, Jason Terry was not better than Ross Strickland. So I won't entertain Jason Terry as the best player never to make the All-Star team. No, he was not better than Ross Strickland. I don't think he was better than Lamar Odom. I don't think he was better than CJ McCollum neither. No, I don't. And I definitely don't think he was better than Ron Harper. I don't. So if you want to mention him, sure. If you want to mention him, that's fine. But the question is who is the best? Ross Strickland, Lamar Odom, Ron Harper, CJ McCollum. Those are the guys that I'm thinking about at the top of my head. Here's Cynric. The problem is a guy who had an All-Star year 1 year. Like is Josh Smith better than Lamar Odom for his career? Because again, we're talking about the best player to never make the All-Star team. That's who we're talking about. We ain't talking about a dude who missed out on it 1 year, who had an All-Star year. Who is the best player? Who is the best player never to make an All-Star team? Ever. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that are we sure Josh Smith didn't make the All-Star team? Ever? Did he never make the All-Star team? Never. Josh Smith never made the All-Star team. I want to say he did. I gotta go fact check that because I think he did. I gotta go fact check that because I think he did make the All-Star team. No, he didn't. Nope, he never made the All-Star team. He made the All-Rookie team and made the All-League Defensive team once. So he was more of a defender than he was anything. So he's in that category with guys like Ibaka, guys like that. Yes, Lamar Odom was better than Cedric Maxwell. Yes, he was. He was a better player than Cedric Maxwell. No doubt about it. He was a better rebounder. If we're just talking about, and you dudes know that I hate this. I hate the whole better basketball player logic. But if we're talking about basketball players, Lamar Odom was a better basketball player than Cedric Maxwell. He was. 100% he was. No, I don't talk about Jamal Murray. Because Jamal Murray, I think he's in year 7, year 8. He's only 25, 26 years old. Jamal Murray's going to make the All-Star team. Excuse me. Jamal Murray is definitely going to make the All-Star team. So I wonder, who is it? And when you think about guys, what up?
What up? What up? What's going on, man?
What up?
I'm good. I had a good Wednesday. Me and my lady friend exchanged gifts. I got her some nice little. I got her some nice little flower beer that she ain't gonna take it out of the case, but she got me something near dear to the heart as well. So
I got a question though, Leaf. Does it matter? Like, do you love her any less on the 15th? Do you love her any less on the 13th? Like, why did I get you from? Come on, mama. I don't get it, Leaf. I'm just saying, Leaf. I ain't trying to big time nobody. I'm just
wait, Tom. I wasn't ready for that.
I'm just saying, Leaf. I think Valentine's Day is I think now that I'm getting older,
you think it's
Valentine's Day, it's a scam. 100% it's a scam. 100% it's a scam, yo. We're getting jerked. We 100% getting jerked.
So listen. You know as well. Listen, when you with somebody, it's that women believe in that. They believe in that romantic stuff, man. It is what it is. So you got that day, your birthday, her birthday, your anniversary, Christmas. Thanksgiving, You got every you living with the. I mean, if you living with a woman like that, then you got all them holidays together. So I mean, but I understand what you're saying from that point. Me and her, we don't live together quite yet, but we are changing stuff. I mean, I guess it means more, you know, since we apart, since we like there's some distance between us, but.
I mean, you got to do it. I get that part. If you got to do it, I got a lady. I got to do something nice for her Valentine's Day. But to be honest with you, I'm just keeping it a being with you, Lee.
You like any less on the 15th?
I do. I think we're getting jerked. I do. I think we straight got had. Yes,
we
did.
Man, listen,
we got had. 100%. We got
had. But, in terms of, I'm gonna get to the basketball. In terms of the best player to never make an All-Star team. Damn. Oh man. Oh wow.
I came up with 4 guys. I came up with Rod Strickland, Lamar Odom, Ron Harper, and who was my 4th guy? Who am I leaving out? I had 4 guys: Rod Strickland, Ron Harper, and CJ McCollum. That was my 4th guy.
CJ McCollum. I don't think CJ McCollum was better than Josh Smith or Monte Ellis. That's just me.
He averaged 20 a game. All the years he played with Dame. All the years he played with Dame. Dame had, and a lot of people talk about like Dame didn't have help up in Portland. Like how many times can we say a dude running in an elite guard running in the backcourt got a 20 a game guy running with him?
That is why. I mean, I feel as though it's somebody recent more than it is somebody from like your time or like the 80s and 90s. Man, I can't think of nobody from your time. That's why I didn't really want to discuss this question, but I kind of wanted to talk about something else, but I didn't really want. I kind of just
Jamal Murray maybe, but that's because he's gonna make I think Jamal Murray's gonna make the All-Star team at some point. I don't think that is. I think he's gonna make the All-Star team at some point. Yeah,
I mean,
he might not be a 5 or 6 time All-Star, but at some point he's gonna make the All-Star team. I do think that.
I mean, I would hope not, so I can get the cosigner that he is the best player to that big All-Star team. But listen,
I just think he is at some point.
Now, I wanted to come up here and yesterday, I wanted you to get into more as to the Cavs, and I had the schedule somewhere about what they played. I had the schedule somewhere, so I'm gonna bring it up. Right. Because it was interesting to me that the Cavs was going on in this run, and I'm one of those people. I'm like, okay, like, yo, if you beating quality teams, and you doing the damage and everything, I understand what the Cavs did. Minnesota is different. I said I had one foot on that train when we talked about them last time. When Minnesota is different, the difference with the Cavs is I think the seeding can help them. In terms of like where they land and whatever, in the grand scheme of things in the playoffs, I think they can mess around and catch a team and probably get around. They could probably get around.
If I'm going off the top of my head, in this win during this win streak that they had, I think they won 15 to 16. They won 15 to 16 games. Of them 15 games that they won, 7 of them was against playoff teams. That's half. Okay. So I don't think it's this goes back to what I said earlier today. You're going to see this. The same thing is going to happen. The same thing is going to happen against when the Warriors come up this last half of the season.
Because they got an easy ass schedule. That's why. We know that.
The last 28 games, half of their games is against non-playoff teams.
Oh yeah. Like, that's the lineup. They set that up.
Half of their games is against non-playoff teams. Now remember, the Cavs beat half their wins in that win streak were against playoff teams. They played more playoff teams than that. They just didn't beat them.
I'm gonna put something on your mind. The last time that the Cavs lost 3 straight games was back in December. They played Orlando.
Yeah.
Boston twice.
Yeah.
It seemed to be a combination with Boston.
What's
twice,
it called? That was the game that Darius Garland broke his jaw.
Oh, okay. So boom. Okay, so after that, you got Atlanta, Houston, Utah, loss against New Orleans, Chicago, Dallas. That's a playoff team. Milwaukee lost. Toronto lost. Here we go. Washington, San Antonio, Brooklyn, Chicago, Milwaukee, playoff team. Atlanta, Orlando, play-in team. Then they got a loss to Milwaukee.
Atlanta
Then they
too,
got
by the way.
another
Atlanta too was a play. Atlanta too was a playing team.
playing team. Yeah. And
Mhm.
Milwaukee, I'm counting playoff teams. I'm counting playoffs.
Right.
So Milwaukee, here go to some more win streaks. Milwaukee, playoff team.
Mhm.
Clippers, playoff team.
Mhm.
Detroit, Memphis, San Antonio, Sacramento, play-in.
Mhm.
Washington, Brooklyn, Toronto, lost to Philly,
Mhm.
in Chicago, and they come off the break on Thursday and they play Orlando. So now
Yeah.
you talked about, I'm counting Milwaukee twice.
Yeah.
That's playoff. The Clippers, which was a quality win, that's playoffs.
Mhm.
And then I go back up, and then at that time, maybe Dallas
Mhm.
and
Just so you know, when they beat Sacramento, they were the 5th seed when they beat Sacramento.
okay,
It was number 5 seed.
in Sacramento, in
Mhm.
Sacramento. So in between that lane,
Mhm.
I'm kind of thinking using it as the same thing I was saying to Knicks fans all season, because remember, they undefeated against, just to put something on your mind, the Knicks are undefeated against teams under 500,
Mhm.
which is part of the reason why they got the record that they got. So you got to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. I understand that.
Yes,
But
you do.
speaking of the words of Mars, because he said this, once all the bad teams get out of the way and it's time to start playing good teams, what do the Cavs look like? What do the Knicks look like? What do these teams look like? Now, Minnesota, I don't have no problem with. I just have a problem with the same thing you have a problem. Cat. And you spoke about, you brought all the things up about Cat to me.
Right.
About him disappearing, and you done call him a negative C Web. Listen, and I gotta remind you about the Cavs. Darius Garland is chicken egg food young. We saw this.
Hold on, no.
Hold on, wait. Before I continue, it wasn't just that front line that got thugged out by Mitchell Robinson and whatchamacallit. Darius Garland didn't apply nothing either. And
You heard what Donovan Mitchell said? The lights was way too bright. They were.
I think Jared Allen said that, but I could be confused. I think Jared Allen might have said that, and that let me know. You went back to something about Doug Christie. He's like, yo, I ain't never been so afraid of my life. Don't that sound like the same shit to you?
Not at that time, though, because Doug Christie, we're talking about a dude, just so you know, Doug Christie, he was in year 9 when he said that. Like, he wasn't a kid.
What year is Jared Allen in?
Year 5. He's 25 years old. He's a kid.
He been in the league for a minute, so you know, kids, they come in at that 19.
I think like 4 years, 4 or 5 years or something like that.
This probably like his 6th year. If I had
even let's just say for the sake of argument that's true. Let's say he's been in the league 6 years. That's the first time he ever been in the playoffs. That's the first time.
Second time.
When did he play in the playoffs?
He was in the playoffs with D'Lo and the Nets. When we made the playoffs with Kenny Atkinson.
He was on your crew. He was on your crew.
He was him, Caris LeVert.
He was on the crew. He was on the crew. I think that was his rook season. Yeah, I think that was his rook season. You're right. I do. I think that was, if that wasn't his rook season, that was his second year.
That was probably his second season, I want to say. Yeah.
So him going up against that Knicks team and them getting roughed up, what you're banking on, you in particular, just like you and the rest of the Cavs doubters, because I don't think the Cavs win an NBA championship. My logic with the Cavs is what I saw last year, I'm not going to see that again this year. And what I saw last year,
can they win a round?
I think that their ceiling is the Eastern Conference Championship. I do think that they get out of the first round, though. I do. I think their ceiling is the Eastern Conference Championship. I do not think they go into the NBA Finals. I don't think they win in the NBA Championship. But I do think that they get out of the first round of the playoffs this year. I do think.
Okay, so the way it's set up, you have hold on. Let me go to standings. The way it's set up right now, they could play in the first round. They can play Miami.
Yep. And I think they beat.
You got them winning that.
Yes, I do. I got them beating Miami. Yes.
I'll be honest with you. Listen, and I know I said this last year about Miami when we talked about the finals. I am a contestant that Miami is pretty much like the Buffalo Bills of the early 90s. They can beat anybody in the division. They have proven they can beat the best of the best. We saw them in the last couple of years. Celtics, Bucks, Sixers, Knicks. They have taken them and they have beaten them against all odds.
Right.
The one thing about Miami I'm contingent on is they know how to beat these teams in the East in the 7-game series. Now, the difference is I think you're looking at is more. I think you're looking at. I'm not sure if you're looking at. Oh, yo, they got to revamp a lineup where they had Vincent and they had Strus and try to figure out how to move pieces in. I
Yeah.
think Jaime is coming along great. We both agreed that Terry Rozier need to come along and figure out the system and figure out what they like to run.
Right.
But with this second half of the season, I think they're a team that has proven time and time again that their second half of the season is nothing to be frowned at. Because we got 28 more games.
That's fair.
We got 28 more games. So the thing is, if they sneak up on you and they jump in and they jump up in the standings, or even if they don't jump up in the standings, if they look like they could get bond something in the last week of the season,
right?
I don't know if a team that is trying to figure things out like the Cavs in terms of playoff basketball can beat Miami that knows better.
So
it's that knowledge.
Right, which is fair. Let me ask you this question, Leaf. Why don't you like the Celtics against the Miami Heat?
I don't like the Celtics. No. What, this year?
You've said to me in the past, why don't you like the Celtics against the Miami Heat?
I don't like my thing I don't like about the Celtics is that they fall victim to not adjusting properly, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So and I seen them. I seen it in the Lakers game against when there was no AD and no LeBron. It seemed like they were just hunting for threes and they were trying to match everything that the team was doing.
So they basically played to the competition, is what you're saying?
Yeah, they panicked a lot.
Right, but that's not going to be the case against the Miami Heat. So I'm going to ask you again because I know how you feel about the Boston Celtics. What's the main reason why you think Miami will beat the Boston Celtics
this year? I think I don't know. It's mental. It's up here. It gotta be.
Keep going, Lee.
It gotta be because
so basically, what you're telling me is what you told me last year is that they basically gonna punk these dudes. Let's keep it on.
Not just. I don't think it's more. It's just punking. It's about outthinking them, out coaching them, outsmarting them, knowing the situations. Right. I think Jimmy is looking at all of them dudes on that team and be like, "Man, listen, I could take them. Yeah. I'm taking them.
I'm just tougher than you.
Bam is looking at all of them dudes on that team.
I'm tougher than you. I'm smarter than you. Right.
I'm smarter than you. And I know how to beat. I know how to beat you before you know how to beat me.
So with that logic, that's what happened with the Knicks. So that's what you're banking on with the Cavs. And I don't mean the Cavs going up against the Knicks specifically. I mean the Cavs in the playoffs. Yeah. I'm not saying that they can't lose. We can't lose like that again. So if you're going to beat me, you're going to have to beat me another way because you're not going to push me around like you did last year. You're not going to do that. We're a different crew than what we were last year. Now, you may be able to outplay me in the aspect of just being better, schemes, defensively. What you're not going to do is you're not just going to bitch me like you did last year. You're not going to push me around like you did last year. I can't see that happening again. I can't.
Listen. I'll put it to you this way: if it does happen, me and you both know for sure that Donovan Mitchell is looking for a change. Okay, you out now. Minnesota's different. I don't think they can.
Why?
I think Minnesota has figured out their true identity. They figured out
which is what
it's defense and locking down. Right. And rebounding and right. Rudy Gobert playing his best basketball. They got a way better bench than the Cavs. They got a way better. I think the Naz Reeds, the slow mos, even some of they collateral guys like Jaden McDaniels. Ant. We saw what Ant looked like in the postseason. Not. I don't want to compare it to Donovan Mitchell. Not before you go too far. But I think they have a lot more. They're not a young team, like you said. They got some veterans. They got some guys.
It's not a young crew. No, they're not.
They got some guys that know. You know what I'm saying? That have to know. I think the Cavs, in terms of their core, outside of Donovan Mitchell, they all growing together. Like
Right.
you got Evan
That's
Mobley
another
who's
thing.
young. You got Evan Mobley who's young. You got Jared Allen who's young. You got Darius Garland that's young. That's three guys that are
Oro,
young. Yeah,
Coro,
yeah, Coro.
Karis LeVert.
Yeah, Karis LeVert. Like they are all young guys. I think the difference between Minnesota and Cleveland is that veteran knowledge in the mind frame. Yo, this is what we got. This is what we need to do. This is how we need to do it. That's at least what I think. I don't know if you see the same thing. Now I know how you feel on Cat, but I'm just saying. I think there's more up here with Minnesota than it is with the Cleveland.
Maybe that may be true because y'all dudes been around longer. However, when we talking about just getting out toughed, that's what happened in the Knicks series. So as good as Donovan Mitchell is, he got as good as that. Don't forget Darius Garland last year. He was 1 year removed from being an all-star. There's a reason why they maxed him out. He was 1 year removed from being an all-star. He got out physical and got outplayed by Jalen Brunson. Straight ate that boy lunch.
Yeah.
And Donovan Mitchell
it wasn't Darius Garland got cooked too. We seen it. Listen, he could stand in front of like
Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley actually did a good job on Julius Randle on the perimeter. But when we get into the interior, he got roughed up. Jared Allen got roughed up. Both of those two dudes. This is your front line. This is the meat and potatoes of your front line. Got roughed up. So if we're going to lose, if we're going to play anybody in the playoffs, what happened last year can't happen this year. Whatever team we stand in front of, whether it's the Knicks, whether it's Miami, doesn't matter who it is, whoever we stand in front of in round one, they can't see the same dudes that they saw last year. They can't.
That's a fact.
They can't see the same dudes that they saw last year.
I got one more thing. I got one more thing for you before I go. I've been watching Zach Edey highlights all day long. I can't understand for the life of me why he shouldn't be in this league. Be honest with you, because I think he has the smarts. He has the passing out of double teams. He can shoot free throws, rebound. My thing is just like, yo, if we got like who at the center position, like outside of, like we see Joker can't move his feet that well. I mean,
those are the elite guys that you're talking about, right?
Yeah, I know.
You're talking about the elite guys, but
Zach Edey from coming in the league and being elite.
And I'm not even thinking about elite guys, but I mean he could do what Zubac does with the Clippers. He could do that. 100% he could do that. He could do more. He could do what Gafford does with Dallas. 100% he can do that.
I think he can do way more.
I'm just thinking about guys. I'm just thinking about guys off the top of my head. I ain't thinking about guys. I'm not even thinking about Anthony Davis or Sabonis or Bam. I'm not even thinking about those guys.
You're the perfect person to ask this question because you love the big man so much. You always praise about the big man. He commands attention in the post all the time. At 7'4", 300 pounds, he commands and he can move around. It's not like he's slow. He can move around. And if he gets in the league right now, he's gonna see double teams immediately.
He gotta get on the right crew, though. He definitely has to get on the right crew.
Okay, I'm thinking to myself, if he plays in the front line with somebody as athletic as a version of Aaron Gordon and an MPJ, oh my God, you kidding me? This dude will murder the league, bro. If you put stuff around him, we see Joker when he finally got athletes.
I think he falls in the lap of Toronto. I love him in Toronto with Scotty Barnes.
Is he from Canada?
No, not just because he's from Canada, but because of that crew that they got up there. I love him in Toronto. I love him up there.
I wouldn't mind him in Toronto neither.
I love him up there. I think he falls in their lap because a lot of teams are going to pass on him. A lot of teams are going to pass on him. So, Leaf, I got to bounce, brother. Good to talk to you, though.
Of course. I'll see you soon, man.
Yep. Good to talk to you, brother. Absolutely. No doubt. Best player to never make the All-Star team. There's 4 guys that I'm thinking about off the top of my head. Rod Strickland, Lamar Odom, Ron Harper, CJ McCollum. Of those guys, those are the guys that I'm thinking about off the top of my head. best players to never make the All-Star team. And of those 4 guys, Ron Harper, Lamar Odom. I'm not Jamal Murray, Ra, because Jamal Murray's going to make the All-Star team at some point. He's in year 8. He's only 26 years old. He's going to make the All-Star team at some point. I'm sure of that. Confident, 100% confident that Jamal Murray is going to make the All-Star team. 100% confident in that. So, those are the 4 guys that I'm thinking about. Cedric Maxwell was not better than Lamar Odom. Cedric Maxwell was not better than. I don't think he was better than Ross Strickland. I do not. Even though he was the Finals MVP, sure, that's great. I don't think he was better than Ross Strickland. I think that he had a great playoff run, but that's as far as I'm going. Cedric Maxwell was like a 13, 14 a game guy. That's who he was. I'm good on Cedric Maxwell, but I like I do like the reference. It's about that time for me, guys. It was good to see you guys tonight. I will be back soon. You can catch me tomorrow on Chill with Chill at 12 o'clock Eastern with Big Bob, Big Ox Bob. We're going to have some good topics for you tomorrow. It is All-Star Weekend. We got some good conversation coming up, man. Good conversation, especially for the stretch run. And I'm really interested in these last 28 games of the season. What up, Breezy? These last 28 games of the season, I'm really interested in it. And I will definitely stay tapped in with you guys. But until then, drink water, put on a suit, don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. Call your mother. She's looking for you. Call your mother, man. And until then, take it light. But take it. Good to see you guys tonight, man. Absolutely. I'll see you guys soon. 100%.